swinging. I'll be your #1 with the bullet. A loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. We're going down, down, around. And sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your #1 with the bullet. A loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. We're going down, 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 down. We're going down, down. Loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. We're going down, down, around. And sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your #1 with the bullet. Loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. Says she's no good with words, but I'm worse. But started out a joke of a romantic stuck to my tongue. Way down with words too over dramatic. Tonight it's a can't get much worse. Worse, no one should ever feel like I'm 2 quarters and a heart down. And I don't wanna forget how your voice sounds. These words are all I have, so write them. So you need them just to get by. Dance, dance, we're falling apart to have time. Dance, dance, these are the lives you love to lead. Dance, this is the way they love. If they knew how misery loved me. You always fold just before you found out. Drink up, it's last call, last resort, but only the first mistake. And I'm 2 quarters and a heart down, and I don't wanna forget how your voice sounds. These words are all I have, so write them. So you need them just to get by. Why don't you show me little bit of spark you've been saving for his mattress? Dance, dance, we're falling apart to have time. Dance, dance, these are the lives you love to lead. Dance, this is the way they love. If they knew how misery loved me. Why don't you show me a little bit of spark you've been saving for his mattress? I only want sympathy in the form of you crawling into bed with me. Dance, dance, we're falling apart to have time. Dance, dance, these are the lives you love to lead. Dance, this is the way they love. Dance, this is the way they love. Dance, this is the way they love. If they knew how misery loved me. Dance, 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 dance. We've gone way too fast for way too long. And we were never supposed to make it half this far. And I lived so much life, lived so much life. I think that God is gonna have to kill me twice. Kill me twice like my name was Nikki Six. I woke up in my shoes again, but somewhere you exist singing. Oops, I did it again. I forgot what I was losing my mind about. I
just here to become the best yet. I'm just here for the psych assessment. I'm just here for the
Where is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. When I wake up, I'm willing to take my chances on whom I forget that you hate him more than you notice. I wrote this for you. You need him, I could be him, I could be an accident, but I'm still trying. There's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Someday I'll appreciate it that you get on my ass and call you. The meantime I'll sport my brand new fashion of waking up with pants on at 4 in the afternoon. You need him, I could be him, I could be an accident, but I'm still trying. And that's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. And maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town.
I'm calling you from the future to let you know we made a mistake. And there's a far from the past that's giving me such a headache.
And I'm back with the madness. I'm a champion of the people who don't believe in champions. I got nothing but dreams inside. I got nothing but dreams. I'm just young enough to still believe, but young enough not to know what to believe in, yeah. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. Champion, champion. I got rage every day on the inside. The only thing I do is sit around and kill time. I'm trying to blow out the pilot light. I'm trying to blow out the light. I'm just young enough to still believe, but young enough not to know what to believe in. Young enough not to know what to believe. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. Champion, I can do anything. Champion, champion, and I can do anything. Champion, champion, and I can do anything. Champion, champion, I can do anything. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, and I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything, anything. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live, if I can everything's surrounding me, leaving me with nothing left to say. Imagine it, grasping it, it feels so far away. Whoa. Every night I wake up in a dream, and I can get too close, I let it slip away. I can only hide from all the lights before I hear a voice that
rush, but I ain't gon' settle down. I guess I'll call your bluff, boy, 'cause I wanna fool around. Honestly, you got me sick and tired. You play your game, but I see black and white. You've been dealt a hand of diamonds, but you've always wanted more. You ain't the only one who's hiding behind closed doors. You built your house of cards, boy, and I'm about to knock it down. If my heart ain't good enough, then give me something to care about. Honestly, you got me sick and tired. You play your game, but I see black and white. You've been dealt a hand of diamonds, but you've always wanted more. You ain't the only one who's hiding behind closed You've been dealt a hand of diamonds, but you've always wanted more. You ain't the only one who's hiding behind closed
You were the shadow to my light. Did you feel us? Another star, you fade away. Afraid our aim is out of sight. Wanna see us alive. Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? Was it all in my fantasy? Where are you now? Were you only
around. A shimmer takes my eye. I lift my head, blinded by the sky. Feel my way in front, following the sound. It moves away so fast, falling to the ground. I know there's more to come. Jump back to my feet. Now I only see ahead of me, chasing down the street.
reset. Sandy's on a rampage. That's going to be cleaner first. Then Wizards. Oh, that's just pure damage. Here goes the ball to the Lotus. And the Rengar is there for the cleanup.
Yeah, gonna be the fight, ladies and gents. Keepers Birdie gets used dito naman ginamit din.
There is the Orb of Deception. Holy!
Good afternoon, Summoners, and we welcome you back to the Garena LOL Collegiate League Summer 2017. I am Vulcan, your shoutcaster, and with me is Chisto.
Yeah.
So another exciting week, this time the Mindanao Conference Series.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch these matches and cast them, of course.
So let's get onto the schedule to see what is going to come up in today's, or rather, this conference series, which would be Game 1, COC versus LDCU, followed by Game 2 and 3. But for now, COC versus LDCU. I am not quite familiar with these schools just yet because, as we all know, the LCL right now, the format has been changed from many requirements. Like from your rank requirement went up, you do not need to be in a, let's say, organization. So I think this brought up a lot of new schools or new teams or participants.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of new teams and new faces in the LCL for this split. So definitely interesting to see what new players bring to the table here.
So let's have a prediction in a way that, based on my previous experience with the LCL for the 2016 series, right now for the Mindanao Conference, there were a lot of hidden gems, hidden talents all throughout the whole state. But when it comes to, let's see, macro-wise, that region, I would say, was lacking in a bit of... I'm not generalizing the whole region. I'm just saying that from what I've been seeing from the top-performing schools, that in terms of macro, they were lacking in a way that what the Metro West had in Luzon.
Yeah, the Luzon teams are definitely more familiar with what's strong. And I think the Mindanao teams, they're just trying to play their own style. They're trying to invent new ways to play the game. And I think sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I think it's really entertaining to watch something new, like something that isn't meta, something cheese. Yeah.
So I think in a way that when it comes to play style, let Mindanao rejoice, because this time we will be crowning 6 champions of the LCL per conference series. We will not anymore have our inter-conference series where a lot of regions really do stand out. Some say that, let's say, one region has the most power-centric team, while the other regions do have lackluster. But let me know that this time in the LCL, it's going to be more dynamic, because 6 champions is like we have 6 kings fighting out. Maybe who knows who might represent LICC.
Yeah, you get more bragging rights for your region, since there are, of course, 6 champions like you mentioned. So it's gonna be really, really competitive per region now. Like, unlike last split, where I think it was just the Luzon teams dominating the whole country. So
it's like you're saying, like, I am this strongest team. We are the strongest team in this whole conference. I'm the strongest top laner, the strongest mid laner. So this brings out competitiveness. Maybe, just maybe, elevate other teams to say that maybe I might dethrone this team and take my spot as one of the top teams, the top 6, the 6 champions all throughout the LCL.
Yeah, the LCL has definitely been improving throughout the years. Like, teams have been upping their game. They're getting really better as the splits go on. Yeah, teams have been getting exponentially better at playing the game. So it's really, really,
in a way that
sorry.
It's like something that you don't really expect, because when it comes to LCL, sometimes it's very unpredictable. Let's say sometimes the 3rd seed overtakes the 1st seed, the 3rd seed of the West Conference overtakes the East. So this is something that just goes to show that maybe the 3rd seed of this certain region versus the 1st seed of, let's say, another conference, and during the last split of the interconference series may not be too definitive. Because, let's say, I just love how right now at this summer term 2017, that we will be crowning 6 champions. But enough said, let's get straight to the drafting phase between Cagayan de Oro College versus Liceo de Cagayan University for the Mindanao Conference.
Okay, so of course we are playing on patch 7.20. Ardent Sensor still is a very popular item, and supports that utilizes are very popular picks. But so far in these bans, we don't see any supports that utilize it, so that leaves Rakan up. An Ardent Sensor usually definitely provides a good engage tool for COC. Let's see how LDCU will respond here.
A lot of bans coming in from LDCU with regards to the tankiness. Maybe this is going to be another focus ban one to Xerxes. Well, as the Azir ban, Azir did get buffed up recently in the patches where he's now more of a burst champion. He's quite stronger right now as of patch 7.19.
Yeah, I think Azir has slowly been rising in popularity, given that these changes may have been a healthy change for him. Because Azir hasn't been that popular during the past patches, but with the recent changes, he's definitely rising as well.
So let's see right now, LCU on the red side, they will be locking in Lulu and Maokai. Again, as you said, she's the one of the Ardent Sensor users now entering this meta. So for COC, hovers and locks onto the Vayne.
Yeah, Vayne, very unorthodox pick for a hyper carry here, because usually teams would prefer Kog'Maw or Twitch, but Vayne is still a strong pick when paired with an Ardent Sensor support.
So let's see what might LDCU's pick be, because right now COC has full control of, let's see, what kind of ADC that LDCU can get, because right now in the second phase, LDCU has yet to secure their ADC. So let's see. Okay, Saya ban right there.
AD carry bans coming from COC, very standard since LDCU hasn't revealed their AD carry. Now, what LDCU wants to do is to have to ban out solo lane counters to their solo laners, because Maokai is still a flex pick. It can potentially go to top lane or go to jungle, but let's see how it pans out.
Heavy bans for COC. This may just diminish the power of the Ardent Sensor, because Kog'Maw really abuses the Ardent Sensor item the most. Paired up with the Lulu, that's just pure chaos, because the earliest phase of Kog'Maw's game, where it's supposed to be weakest, turns out to be the most strongest, because thanks to the Lulu's buff, enchantment, plus the Ardent Sensor, this will further boost it. But right now, COC is smart enough to ban away the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, but even with Kog'Maw being banned out, LDCU able to pick up Twitch here, also an Ardent Sensor abuser, like you said. So I think they should have banned Twitch instead of Xayah, because Xayah isn't really a hyper carry per se. Like, she gets outscaled by Twitch and Kog'Maw in the late game. So interesting to see here what the teams actually prioritize.
So let's see, COC locking in their final picks. This could be the mid Lucian in the mid lane for COC. Yes. This would be interesting. This might just be a top Jarvan and a jungle Maokai. Jungle Maokai is still powerful as of now, and this would be, yes, Cho'Gath in the top lane against the Jarvan.
Interesting summoner choice. I wonder if Lucian will change his Ghost into a different summoner spell.
So far, this is going to be the final switcheroo. Sorry about that. It would actually just be the top Maokai. So LDCU looking pretty good in their lineup. Same as for COC. I do wonder how COC's mid laner Xerxes will deal against Sea Dragon.
Yeah, so far with LDCU's draft here, they have really strong late game scaling. They have these two tanks in Maokai and Jarvan, and they have a hyper carry. They have late game hyper carries in Ryze and Twitch just to be buffed by that Lulu. So I'm really a big fan of LDCU's draft here just because they have that hyper carry potential. Whereas COC opted for more of an early game engage style where they want to dominate the early game and snowball and potentially win that way.
So when it comes to the bot lane matchup, I'm pretty sure when it comes to seeing how the bot lane turns out, I would really bank it on that Rakan will have a really hard time against Lulu, because we all know that due to popularity, melee supports aren't really that favorable compared to, let's say, okay, Rakan is considered ranged. Yeah, well, it's too small of a range.
Yeah, Lulu can poke Rakan really well. Rakan really suffers in lane. I think once he hits 6, he should look for roams and potentially set his team up for more ganks and picks around the map. So I think what COC has to do is they need to dominate early game and not let LDCU scale. Because when they hit like past 30 minutes, like full items on Twitch, Ryze, LDCU is just going to destroy COC's comp with their scaling.
I actually had a funny interaction with Rakan because I was gonna try him in the top lane, then I thought he was melee. So
Oh.
as my first buy back, I was gonna buy the Tiamat, but then I realized that it had the stop sign where it says your only melee champions are allowed to buy it, and I'm like, Rakan is ranged, but that is a ridiculous range, shorter than Thresh, I think.
Yeah, I think he's the shortest range champion.
So short as range champion, might as well make him melee.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the laning phase, I wonder how he made up against the Lulu. But let's get straight to the rift to see how COC will do against LDCU in this first game of the Mindanao Conference.
Okay, so for LDCU here, what you want to watch out for is you want to see how Jarvan paths and what lane he chooses to play around, because Jarvan needs to act as a bridge for LDCU towards that late game so that Ryze, Maokai, and Twitch can scale and just destroy COC in these team fights. As for COC, they need their solo lanes to win. They need Lucian to be fed so that he can keep these hyper carries down and snowball the win for COC.
So how easy is it for COC to lose this game? Because so far from what you've been saying, it's like COC is on a really tight schedule where they need this guy to scale up. They need this Lucian to really snowball. If that doesn't happen, does this mean that LDCU will have an easy time in this game?
Yeah, because COC's comp, as far as scaling goes, they have only Vayne and Cho'Gath that really they're really effective picks in the late game, but throughout LDCU, they're just better overall.
So when it comes to, I would say, mid lane, I think the Lucian will really have a hard time because the only thing he has going for is his mobility, and Ryze can just easily shut that down.
Yeah, Ryze, definitely super hard to play against because he has that point and click CC. Like any champ with point and click, you're gonna struggle against that because he just puts his cursor on you and you're just rooted there for like
the
2
point
seconds.
click route where it's very easy. Pinpoint accuracy almost at 100%, but at least when things go really bad, when it comes to level 6 dual potential of the Lucian, there is no some sort of cancel for his calling. But right now, I think aggression in the bot lane, all of love going in onto the Twitch, as we see Flick taking a lot of damage. So this would be more of a warning sign for COC because Rakan does get easily abused, and that would be a Lulu paired up with a Twitch.
Yeah, the Lulu definitely showing how much bully potential they have. Like, Twitch and Lulu will bully this Vayne and Rakan lane because they're very short ranged. And I think bot lane for LDCU will go pretty well in their favor until Ray goes for a gank to potentially relieve some of that pressure.
So much for range champion for Rakan because I would say he's more of melee, and I don't think how he will have an easier time against the Twitch and Lulu. So far things will be cooling down in a way that we did see that Flick got a taste of the damage coming in from Demon Kite's Twitch and the support from Koneko's Lulu.
Yeah, so far none of the junglers really going for early aggression here, but I expect Ray or the Hound to go for a gank, potentially in the solo lane, to tilt that in favor of their teammates.
Ooh, so much aggression from All of Law. Looks like that would be a trade-up, but in the end, this is the problem of CFC's bot lane. They lack damage, but the Condemn just might change the outcome. First blood is still up for grabs, and I think Flick wants it. All of Law assisting in, flashes in. He will be securing the first blood for COC, but in the jungle, it looks like Ray just bit off more than he can chew.
Yeah, Ray invading there without the support of his teammates, so he gets punished for that, but
quick respawns coming from LDCU in that red side invasion.
yeah, so I think what made the difference in that bot lane 2v2 is because Vayne and Rakan have barrier and heal, whereas Twitch and Lulu, they have heal and exhaust, so I think the added defensive stats for COC help them win the extended trade.
So, and also the crowd control from the Condemn really changed the whole outcome because it, without a doubt, Demon Kite deals more damage than Flick thanks to the Lulu, but they have the crowd control. COC has the crowd control, but those are easily missed sometimes. And just from that, we just saw that Flick use that flash to reposition himself.
Yeah, Fleek definitely styling on Demon Kite there. A really cool mechanics to pull off on Vayne, able to buffer his Condemn into the flash so that it stuns the target.
I think this will further benefit the support, which would build into the Ardent Sensor, but looks like he will be upgrading his gold income item instead. Whereas we did see that Ray did die in the jungle side, giving a kill count for Sea-Dragon, immediately picking up the tier and the Ruby Crystal and another Sapphire Crystal. This will further enhance the laning phase of this Rise.
Yeah, since that failed invade from Ray, handing over the blue buff to Sea-Dragon made Sea-Dragon's lane really, really more comfortable for him.
And I think this is going to be a punishment for COC, especially Ray. He should have thought it out before invading the red side jungle, and smooth respawns coming in from LDCU.
Yeah, as a jungler, you really need to be careful when invading. You need to know if your laners are in a position to collapse towards you once the enemy team does respond to your invade. Really bad mistake there by Ray, not respecting LDCU's ability to collapse on him and punish him for the invade.
And I think that first blood gave a lot of confidence in, but here comes Sea-Dragon gagging in with a Realm Warp. 4 members of LDCU collapsing to the bot lane of COC with a kill. 2 for nothing. COC is further getting behind.
Yeah, really good proactive play then coming from LDCU. Having Rise have lane pressure over this early game pick of Lucian is really a good thing for them.
And I think the first blood was actually a signal for them because a lot of summoners were spent in the bot lane. This enabled Sea-Dragon to freely roam, and he did get a kill count. Looks like Ray is getting heavily punished. His red side of the jungle is warded. No wards placed for COC.
So with Sea-Dragon being this ahead, this early, it
looks like that caught him by surprise. The calling will be spent for some damage. Exhaust burnt onto the Lucian. He does get down by Demon Kite with a 2-man knockoff from All of Love, but this will be a disengage. Fleek is very low on health. Looks like Jarvan wants some more. Sea-Dragon diving under that turret, taking a lot of hits. A bit too greedy.
Yeah, over-aggression there from Sea-Dragon. Barrier just coming out of Fleek to save his life there. But even still, with Sea-Dragon being this ahead, this early into the game, LDC is just getting closer and closer to their comp's win conditions, which is the late game scaling. COC has to do something proactive to slow down or shut down this Rise. This Rise is just gonna pop off soon, so they have to shut that down really fast, or else COC is they're gonna lose this game.
He already has a lot of items to sustain himself in the mid lane. The Eternal Passive from that Catalyst will really benefit that Rise because not only it boosts his, let's say, dual potential 1v1 this Lucian, it just also further increases his lane sustain. So that would be another mistake for Hope because he did overstay. Milky attacking into hits. This will be a kill, but looks like Sea-Dragon coming in from the mid lane might Realm Warp, but this will just be a signal way. He was standing on top of a ward.
Yeah, good gank there from Ray, and the Hound late, just a bit late there. Looks like there's aggression in the bot lane.
Oh, looks like quickness for the charm, but nothing will happen. This is 1 ultimate gone. Remove, make that 2 ultimates, and looks like Fleek is still trying to duel him out.
Yeah, COC making the proactive move there, trying to take advantage of their XP advantage since they hit 6 first before the bot lane of LDCU. They tried to make it all-in play, but good thing from LDCU, they respected the level 6 in and they disengaged beautifully.
And this is the problem where we did see in the bot lane where over-aggression, over-commitment does punish them heavily. And we also did see the same thing in the mid lane because what happened there was a Lucian versus Rise matchup. A Lucian does heavily benefit from positioning mobility, and if you remove that, he's just any normal ADC with just a double shot passive, and I think Rise can just easily out-damage him. Here it comes, a knockoff will happen. Body slam for another CC, plus the cast for the displacement. Nature's Grasp
Hound is here though.
is there. Looks like that will be the respawns from the jungler. That would be a disengage from COC.
Yeah, Maokai kind of too tanky for the two of them there since Cho'Gath and Gragas are tanks. They do not deal enough damage to actually kill Hope.
It's kind of weird that they are investing this much time and resources into the top lane. I want to see them use it, let's say, lanes that actually will help them reach their win condition, especially, let's say, the mid lane or the bot lane. But looks like mid lane is already good. It's already settled down. The bot lane is still not yet calm. I mean, they are still trying to determine who is the stronger laner right now, who wants to dominate this lane. So I want to see that the junglers go more for the bot lane, because that opens up more for the Mountain Drake, which is going to be very beneficial towards the late game, as you said.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because COC didn't prioritize getting this Lucian ahead. I think they tried to adapt because Sea Dragon got so many early kills. They tried to get a different lane ahead instead of Lucian and just settled for... there's a fight in the mid lane.
That's what happens when some mid laner gets a huge advantage, a flash and another flash, and this would be a disengage for the mid laner of COC.
This is a disengage though.
Looks like LDCU, they know what's good. They want more. Looks like they will be returning the favor from Rain, now invading his red side of jungle, but this time with his teammates. Looks like Ray tried to go in for a steal, fails instead. The Hound will be taking away his red buff.
Yeah, and of course, because Ryze has lane priority over this Lucian, it allows LDC to go for these aggressive invades and see they steal the red buff away there, and they have total control over this dragon area. So
total vision control. Looks like Demon Kite bypassing all of lobby. He didn't want to go in. There is the lockdown. Looks like Demon Kite will be taking a kill. No teleports available for COC. We did see that Milky just used his teleport. I wonder, he did use it to go back to his lane.
yeah, really nice whimsy from Koneko there, denying the battle dance or even the summoners of Khan.
Oh, Relmorp coming in. Surprise! He's chasing. Looks like this will be a disengage. Oh! From the skies, he did get rooted down. Looks like a Ray will be coming in for the help, and he just hits himself to the wall.
That was an awkward body slam. Not his best moment.
That's best moment. Looks like everyone is just after for this
Fancy
Rise. They are not giving up just yet, and looks like Ray throwing a fit right there, throwing away his cast.
That cask was, I think that was tilt. He's tossing his cask out of frustration, not after he fails his body slam flash over the wall, he just tosses his cask out.
Well, this is not a time for you to end or tell. Looks like from this opportunity, LDCU will be taking away the Mountain Drake from COC.
Good response here from LDCU, seeing that COC's members have collapsed towards that top side of the map. They use that numbers advantage in the bot lane and that superior vision control to transition that into a Mountain Drake. So good pickup for them here.
Good pickup, and I would say good rotations and trade-off, because right now COC's field of view is closing in. They are now making the kills become the objectives, not the objectives become the kills. And I think that was the first Mountain Drake of the game.
Yeah, so 30 minutes into the game, 3 and 5 in kills. The gold still fairly even here, actually. I think it can be credited to Vayne having this 20 CS lead over the Twitch. Just been farming better.
Farming better, but note that Twitch does have 2 kills and already finished up the Runaan's Hurricane. So I would pretty much say that Demon Kite, he knows where to invest his money, whereas we see Fleek, he's on a spending spree, window shopping anywhere he wants. I want this, I want that. He gets the call, I want the dagger, I want the boost of speed. Whereas we see that Demon Kite, he knows what's good, he knows what to focus, and that's how he got the Runaan's Hurricane. When a team fight does happen, I think Demon Kite will outdamage this Vayne by a long shot.
What
Surprise! Cataclysm for the smackdown and the dunk. Looks like the Hound is on a roll right now, getting kills from mid lane to top lane.
Yeah, the Hound not having any of that wet noodle fight, just goes in and dunks down Milky before anything interesting happens between the two tanks. So,
and this will be 100% kill participation coming in from the Hound. So this is his best game so far, because when you see a jungler with 100% kill participation, you just know that he is everywhere in this map. Looks like he will be granting some vision towards the blue side of COC.
Yeah, like I said, Jarvan has to act as a bridge for these late game champions. He has to be proactive in the early game so that LDCU can scale and win the game through their superior scaling comp.
I don't think Jarvan is anymore this bridge. I think Jarvan is just throwing his teammates over this gap, and he's just boosting the power of this Rise, this Twitch, the Maokai for the lockdown, whereas COC, as I said before, they were on a scheduled time, and now they just blew it off because they weren't that careful, especially Ray, giving the blue buff, giving a kill to Z-Dragon. That is a mistake that you don't want to do. And by doing that, he immediately went to the bot lane because he feels confident.
Yeah, and that being said, a bunch of core items already complete here for the side of LDCU. Rod of Ages on that Rise, Runeon's Hurricane on Twitch, and Warrior Enchantment for the Hound. I wonder if the Hound will actually build Duskblade this game.
He might go for it because seeing how he's itemizing, he does not really need to build tanky. Maokai can do it for him, but let's see. They might go for an early game here. Hound committing too much over this Gragas. The Ocean Drake is not yet live, but they are already establishing some vision in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, for a competitive league, building tanky after your jungle item warrior on Jarvan is pretty much a standard, but it's always fun to see a Jarvan just ult and auto an AD carry, and the AD carry just dead.
Just disappears from the map. Just one ult, tapos na. Like Q, ult, armor reduction, dead. So I wonder if we might see it, but right now, Realmore coming in, looks like the Hound will be joining in. He does get condemned to the wall. Flick is free hitting, but as I said before, the Runeon's Hurricane will out-damage this Fate, and that would be a 2-for-0 trade. Teleport did get cancelled, so resources, summoners, all burnt by COC, all for nothing.
Yeah, LDCU executing the same play from a few minutes ago, and it nets them 2 kills in the bot lane. No response from COC, interestingly, and they're not able to take anything from the map. So probably a chip damage on LDCU's mid tower.
It's like they were just he was just watching his teammates die, and he couldn't do anything. And it looks like Ray, this isn't his best moment because what happened from the early phase just might be affecting him right now. As a Gragas, at this point in the game, 17 minutes in, 0-1-1 KDA speaks a lot from how you are feeling right now.
Yeah, Ray looks a little bit flustered here from his early game hiccups. I mean, just tossing casks all over the map, not really netting them anything. So let's set into the mid game here.
When it comes to the mid game, I wondered for what we've been saying for COC, because we do have to pray that this Lucian may come back, but Lucian's damage spike is outside the window because Twitch is now entering the stage. The spotlight is on to Demon Kite. Not anymore on this Lucian. Bye-bye Vade for now. So let's see what could be COC's plan if they do want to win this game, if they do want to come back from that deficit.
Yeah, at this stage in the game, it's going to be difficult for Lucian to actually be effective in teamfights because he was put so far behind in the early game by the proactive plays of LDCU and just really good play from Z-Dragon.
Z-Dragon did do his job properly in a way that he actually helped the Hounds do his job for him, because so far they did accomplish what they wanted to do, and looks like a Rift Herald contest will not happen. Smooth. That is just smooth decision coming from Z-Dragon.
They don't have the buff though. They forgot the buff.
Oh, okay, not that smooth. A bit rocky on the edges.
Why did you forget the buff? Well,
looks like the buff will remain untouched, but at least you get some style points for getting out. Mamba out, very smooth exit. But all for nothing. They did get, I'd say, 100 gold from that. They could buy themselves probably some candy from the store, but they will now transition towards the Ocean Drake to cover up their hiccups.
Yeah, I think because they wasted CLC's time like guarding the buff for the Rift Herald buff.
Maybe this is what they wanted. This is what they're... you thought that we'd get the Rift Herald, but we were planning to get the Ocean Drake all this time.
Yeah, they're actually playing 4D chess.
They're actually
The
playing...
mind games.
They're actually playing a mind game, just fooling around COC, but obviously they did miss that Rift Herald, and COC did a really good job guarding the buff, so this does help COC further increase their chances, but seeing how 3 members of LDCU, they're in the bot side, looks like spray and pray won't happen for them, and the Rise just gets caught off. A flash did get burned by Sea Dragon. Looks like Ray and the Lucian will be happy with the results, seeing how no more summoners ready for Sea Dragon just yet, and I don't think Milky is having an easy time in the bot lane. Left alone, 4 members gang up on this. Cho'Gath alone and afraid. Looks like LDCU capitalizing on the fear of COC. They just removed the outer turret, while we do see that on the top side, Vayne and Rakan are pushing in, but looks like LDCU will be racing in. Looks like flash in. Lockdown and a smackdown. No damage happened there, but a dragon and flag combo will fully connect with 3 members down for COC, 5 members still alive, racing towards the inhibitor. And would this be a trade-off that COC wants?
This is not a worth it trade for COC. I mean, they just left Milky for dead, just leaving him under tower for LDCU to dive. And now that this bot inhibitor has been destroyed by LDCU, they're going to be able to play around the top side of the map even easier with bot lane for COC. Bot lane for LDCU auto pushing. They're going to be able to pressure that Baron. So I wouldn't be surprised if LDCU begin to set up for that objective.
I wonder why they even thought of racing a Vayne with a Mountain Drake buff, because a Vayne and a Rakan is not more than enough to compete against 5 members with a Mountain Drake buff that deals extra true damage towards the turrets. So I think this was COC's bad call. They will pay the price. They did lose 2 turrets rather, and 1 inhibitor, and that would be a penalty for COC's misjudgment. And right now, looks like the next Drake will be the Mountain Drake, and the Baron is live. Looks like COC on their tight schedule, they might have to file some overtime because they need to work harder if they want to start coming back. But seeing how they are playing, they're inting, they're getting indecisive, getting a bit riled up. It looks like Ray used the cast for nothing.
TP comes in though.
Oh, this might be a chance. Milky goes in. Oh, the Baron did get secure. Flick coming in for Saki. Flick actually goes in and would come down. That just might be COC's comeback. Looks like a double kill. And the Baron that happened for LDCU just became the comeback for COC.
The Demon Knight not being able to flash out of the Baron pit. I think he was silenced by Milky in that fight.
And I think Flick was a bit ballsy right there. As soon as the Cataclysm was used by the Jarvan, Flick actually flashed in and instantly condemned the Jarvan and took him out.
The burst damage coming out of the Static Shift and Infinity Edge crit onto Demon Guy just pops in after the Baron take.
Just instant delete, and looks like a delivery service. Sea Dragon will be joining in. He does have the Baron buff but will not help. They will still take the turret, and I think it's a bit angsty here. He does want to chase in. Members of LDCU, they are a bit aggressive here. A flag coming in from this Maokai. This will be LDCU returning a favor. Might just come back from that deficit and knock up onto Ray. He will be left for the slaughter. And Demon Kite will be taking the kill.
Yeah, COC overextending. They're trying to take more than
what they bargained for. And I think they might just wreck the entire base, seeing how the inhibitor is down in the bottom lane, whereas COC, 2 members are down, only 3 members alive, with LDCU still having the Baron buff. This will be the second inhibitor turret, and this will be another inhibitor in the end. LDCU, they had a misplay in the Baron pit, and they immediately fixed that with flanks coming in from this Maokai.
Yeah, just after you thought COC was going to claw their way back into this game with a huge play at the Baron, they make the disastrous decision of overextending, allowing LDCU to pick up more kills onto the members of COC, and that transitions into an inhibitor, into 2 inhibitors down for COC.
And I'd love to see what happened again in the Baron pit happen for COC, because from what I've saw, this could just, that strategy might be the only saving grace. The Shiv combo from the Vayne, the instant burst may just be enough. Righteous Glory popped by Milky, trying to go in. Might feast on someone, but he's really getting melted down by the sheer damage, and another
Look at the
nice
quickness.
3-man knockoff from that Rakan, and Flick is just
Flick is
free
untouched.
hitting without a care in the world. Looks like one member is down. The Hound gets taken down by the Vayne.
Great engage there from COC, able to pick up a kill onto the Hound. Of course, the Hound isn't as tanky as he would want to be yet, because he itemized towards that Ghost Blade.
And it looks like Realm Warp for a to clean up. They will try and still take this last inhibitor turret standing.
Yeah, LDCU are overextending here, though Dragon is up. They can potentially go for that objective in the future. Just see how much more they can take with the Baron buff on Sea Dragon.
Oh, did you see that, Chisto, by the way? I mean, what LDCU is doing right now is that they're scared. I sense fear in the hearts of LDCU because they're scared of this Vayne. They're obviously trying to end this game as fast as they can because they cannot be too complacent. They had a good start, but what can you say about this?
Yeah, even though Fleek was super behind during the laning phase, he's been really performing well in these team fights, able to position properly and DPS down the target.
That
of
is
LDCU.
just, yeah, I gotta say, I just saw the items of Fleek and I gotta say, look at that disgusting rapid fire cannon, Shiv, Infinity Hedge. Ooh, that's gonna be instant crit.
Yeah, and I think that's because even though Twitch has more kills, Vayne has this significant
Single target spell, right? So in a way.
Yeah, and he has this significant CS advantage over Twitch, which may be misleading to some people. Like, it's not always just kills that grant you gold. Like, getting a good amount of CS can also net you these good core items towards that late game, but let's just wait and see how COC will, see what fight COC will look for here.
Obviously, the fights that they have a chance of winning because no matter how strong you are as a player, as a team, you will always want to pick a fight where you always have this dirty advantage against the enemy team. Let's say 4v5. That's an advantage for you. Go for it. But sometimes that 4v5 backfires on you in a way that turns out this Vayne, this ADC, was just worth 2 members in terms of damage. So I hope that COC, they know who to target. As far as we've been seeing, only the Hound keeps getting bursted down. Twitch, Rise has yet to be slain by this Vayne.
Yeah, for these upcoming fights, what LDCU want to do is hopefully catch out this Vayne and delete her at the very beginning so that they could win. And for COC, what their job is to provide peel for Vayne so that she can free hit and kill the tanks of LDCU. But like, this is not a wet noodle fight.
This is going to be
Cho'Gath deals damage.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, that's a cool interaction with the Realm Warp and Zhonya's, of course. Just getting Rise out.
It's the easiest escape tool you can do. That's why this Rise can really push out the waves without any problem. And now, right now, looks like Demon Kite joining the fight. Ray again just bumps in onto this Twitch.
Better watch Fleek.
Rescue, and looks like
Demon Kite down.
the Rakan will be there, and looks like Flick is still a bit healthy. He will be coming out on top. COC's coming back to this team fight. Double kill for this Cho'Gath, and a chase is on with Xerxes taking down the Hound. Only 1 member remains. This will be the ace. Flick coming back strong with the ace of the game.
Yeah, Fleek putting COC on his back here, really trying to help them claw their way back in this game. And for LDCU, Demon Kite has to stop dying at the very beginning of these fights.
Like I said, LDCU, they had fear in their hearts, and their worst fears haven't realized, seeing how COC, they are coming back into this game stronger than LDCU. And the fact that this Rakan can really quickly reposition himself, go in, go out, disturb the Demon Kite's damage output.
Yeah, but even with the ace for COC, they aren't able to transition that into an objective. It looks like they will get vision control over this Baron, which can be a potential spot for a fight within the near future as it is now up. Baron will be a really important objective for any team here because it will potentially help them end the game.
You think so? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think so.
I want this to go on for longer. Like,
Because I feel like this Baron is a trap. Let's say, this Baron can help me end the game. Turns out they were wrong. It was the reverse. This could have been the reverse Baron pin that we all are familiar with, where, let's say, the stronger team goes into the Baron pin. Then they lose in the Baron pin. The weaker team wins, and they can actually get a comeback. And it's a vicious, endless cycle where, in the end, the Baron wins.
okay, so both inhibitors are now up for COC, so that's less map pressure for LDCU, and both teams just fighting over vision of this area.
Oh boy, LECU, I can feel their, I would say, frustration. Especially this Rai, because he had a good start. And they are going to be focusing on to Milky. Ray is there.
Look at
Fleek
Fleek.
going in onto, a flash. The Condemn will not stun. And looks like Vericchus will be going in. But
Got
the
Fleek.
smackdown by the Jarvan will change the fight. Fleek is dead. No more Vayne. Looks like Xerxes might be next. Demonkai comes out on top. And that was a choke point. And COC just fell right into it.
Yeah, this is really smart here. He's not killing Graga so that he doesn't go onto respawn and just delaying the back so that LDCU, they might go for the end here.
They might just go for the end because death timers are pretty huge, and I think from the choke point, I think I knew that was going to be a bad spot. That was Jarvan's.
Yeah, I think Ray has accepted his defeat here. He's just having a dance with Sea Dragon.
Yeah, in a way, he can't even escape because he does not have his flash up.
So looks like LDC will pick up the win here. 12 to 9, 19 to 12 in kills, 6k gold lead.
So congratulations to LDCU for winning against COC. I actually thought that COC could actually come back from their deficit. But seeing how they were a bit choked in that small point where one Cataclysm was enough to lock down at least 4 members.
Yeah, like you said, Baron did become a trap for COC, trying to fight over that vision, and Fleek mispositioning once, gets punished for it, gets deleted at the start of the fight, and then LDC just running away with the victory, cleaning them up and ending the game.
So I gotta hand it to COC. They did try and compete with their win conditions. They did though. I gotta hand it to the Vayne, the Vayne and the Lucian. But all it comes down was all is love because the Rakan was there for the great knockups, the disengage. But here are the end game stats of the game to see how all teams fared.
Really nice game coming out from the Hound. I think he was one of the key factors in the early game being so going so well for LDCU.
I mean, with a 17 kill, more kill participation than the support, you gotta hand it to the Hound for really delivering the bacon towards his teammates and see how the total damage dealt. I really felt like the Lucian and the Vayne did struggle in terms of damage, but the Twitch did have the Runaan's Hurricane, so that would be more damage dealt to champions.
Yeah, okay, so really nice game there coming out. Both teams going back and forth, but in the end, LDC just pulling off the better team fight with their better scaling, and they've come out with a win.
So there you guys have it. This has been Game 1 of the Mindanao Conference with LDCU securing their victory against COC. We have been the Shoutcasters. I am Vulcan, and with me was Gisto. We will be back after the short break for Game 2. It's free hitting, but as I said before, the Runaan's Hurricane will outdamage. LDCU will be racing in. Looks like flash in. Lockdown and a smackdown. No damage happened there, but Dragon ends really getting melted down by the sheer damage, and another nice 3-man knockoff from that Rakan, and Flick is just free hitting without a care in the world. Looks like one member is down. The Hound gets taken down by the Vayne.
Great engage there from COC.
And looks like
Jimmy gets down.
The Rakan will be there, and looks like Flick is still a bit healthy. He will be coming out on top. COC's coming back to this team fight. Double kill for this Cho'Gath, and a chase is on with LDCU for winning against COC.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.
Pull me close and you say you'll never run away. You think that love is a game and that we've gone insane. But what we have is what one spends a lifetime searching for. Just with you I feel amazing, never felt before. But would I be so ashamed from what we're fighting for? I'm standing right at the gates, walking your stairway to heaven. Baby, I'm in love, and I can't get enough. I'm yours truly, 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 baby, truly. Baby, I'm in love. Can you feel the rush? I'm yours truly, 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 baby,
Might be it! High definition gaming!
Don't kill so far, don't reset. Sandy's at a rampage, that's going to be cleaner first than Wizards. Yeah. Oh, that's just pure damage. And now he goes the ball to the closest. And the Rengar is there for the cleanup. And
Yeah, gonna be the fight, ladies and gents. Keepers, Birdie gets used to ito naman ginamit din.
there's the Orb of Deception. Holy!
Hello guys and welcome back to the Garena LoL Collegiate League Summer 2017. I am Vulcan and with me is Chisto. We will be your shoutcasters for Game 2 coming in from Game 1 and what an exciting Game 1 it was.
Yeah, nice match between LDCU and COC. Really back and forth match. But for our next match, we have LDCU versus NDDU. It looks like LDCU wants to carry their momentum from their first win into this match and potentially pick up 2 wins today.
So let us see onto the schedule to see what is up. As Chisto said, this will be another continuation of, let's hope, LDCU's momentum facing off against NDDU for Game 2. But let's get actually straight to the drafting phase without wasting no more time, because from that first game, let's see how can LDCU use what they know from that previous Game 1 moving on to NDDU, because we did see that LDCU, they had some fear in their hearts, because we did see that COC, with the composition they had, they were behind, but they were able to come back from 2 clashes. They won 2 clashes, but that small mistake at the choke point in the Baron Pit granted LDCU's victory, and that's why they have some confidence. And looks like from that game itself, and DDU already scouting things out. They are going to be banning out some meta junglers, meta tanks. It looks like they are going to be removing Sea Dragon's Rise.
Yeah, Rise from Sea Dragon during the last game really impacted the map with the proactive Realm Warps helping out their bot lane Snowball. But what's interesting for me here is that LDCU banned Sejuani on blue side being first pick. I don't think they put priority onto that Sejuani.
Also, they're banning out the Maokai. Interesting. So, I love how LDCU is doing, because sometimes when you get priority picks, doesn't mean you're gonna have a good time, because you can easily just be counter. It's either you ban out a certain champion or you build around that champion in a way that you make it completely useless, right?
Yeah, so with these bans coming out, it does leave Lulu open, a priority pick in this match, an abuser of Ardent Sensor and a huge lane bully. And NDDU will respond with a Galio pick.
Oh, interesting pick from NDDU. Oh, and Wombo combo coming in from NDDU. Looks like it will be the Cataclysm entrance with Galio and Jarvan. And we're seeing how we keep talking about the Ardent Sensor. There was this running joke in Worlds 2017 that every time the casters say Ardent Sensor, you take a shot.
Yeah, and maybe they got drunk after the shots because all the Ardent Sensors. Well,
It's obvious to know that it's overpowered right now.
Yeah, it's really popular item. So for NDDU, a lot of AoE here. Of course, a very popular combo is the Jarvan jumping in with the Cataclysm and the Galio right on top, providing all that CC in that choke point provided by the Cataclysm. And so far from NDDU's draft, there's a lot of teamfight potential here.
Let's see though, because for NDDU, they do have priority to... Oh, looks like LDCU will be the ones to remove the Twitch. And looks like the last bans will be 3 ADRs, yeah, so ADCs, and 1 support ban, which would be the Rakan. So NDDU, they will be locking in that Varus. Varus with the Guinsoo Rage Play Rush. It's a classic. I love it because sometimes I found at first I found it weird, but then I realized that, of course, the Blight stacks enhances the Piercing Arrow, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, on-hit Varus has been rising in popularity because it works so well with the Ardent Sensor. All that magic damage with the on-hit, just another shot right
again.
there.
So let's see, will this be LDCU hovering under Tristana and the Ornn? I wonder will this be a lock-in for LDCU because they will have a lot of CC, but instead they will be locking in this Nautilus. Looks like NDDU will be the last pick. I wonder what support can bring this Varus all together.
Alistar, he can potentially use Ardent Sensor, but it will be really hard for him. It will be really hard for him to actually proc the passive of Ardent Sensor so that Varus can get the bonus attack speed. So for LDCU, like their last game, pretty standard hyper carry in the hyper carry Tristana, 2 tanks in top and jungle, control mage in the mid lane, and Ardent Sensor.
See, how many times you said Ardent Sensor, and but this time I would have been drunk. So seeing how the Alistar will not be the good user of the Ardent Sensor, so in a way that there is a passive, but it's a bit too late, as you said. I don't think the Ardent Sensor will be a huge pick for the Varus because he is actually relying on the Guinsoo's and the resets of the Piercing Arrow. More of a burst. The Ardent Sensor is used for more on the attack speed champions. But let's see, LDCU, they are going to be locking in a lot of CC tankiness coming in. But will this be NDDU using the classic, one of the most new Varus, on-hit Varus with the Guinsoo's Rage Blade, which by far is actually more powerful than you might actually think.
Yeah, but you know, if Alistar can't use the Ardent Sensor, they of course have the Orianna. And of course, there has been a change to Ardent Sensor this patch where when you use the effect on the teammate, it also affects you. So you also gain the attack speed and bonus magic damage. So Orianna can potentially abuse that if she does the build with Nashor's Tooth. So maybe they'll go for that cheese. I know
that build. I've seen it in the world stage.
Yeah, I believe it was Power Vivo. His build is Rod of Ages into Nashor's Tooth Orianna. Really interesting itemization.
Interesting item, but it's very risky to use because normally you would picture the Orianna in a way to be this jet, a certain key in a certain team clash where just use a shockwave and the Designate combo will be more than enough, but instead going for a more close quarter combat, more closer range, this further increases the risk of the Orianna. But let's get straight to game 2 of the Mindanao Conference. LDCU on the blue side against NDDU on the red side.
So it looks like LDCU might potentially go for an invade here.
Ooh.
They're 5-man in this bush. They have Nautilus with Q.
They're gonna be very juicy. This will be a very juicy 1v1. Seeing how they do have a lot of CC.
for him?
The taunt from the Ramos depends on what skill the Hound may have leveled up. Looks like they are sensing something. There is a ward in the middle of the river.
Yeah, let's see if the Hound can produce the same proactive as he had last game into this game, but he's on a different champion in the Ramos. I'm actually a big fan of Ramos, one of my favorite champions,
Why is that?
because he's so deceptively tanky for what he looks like. Like he's so small that he doesn't look like a tank, but when you actually try to hit him, you just don't deal damage.
I mean, he has spikes. What part of spikes does not say I'm not a tank?
Well, maybe he uses those spikes for offense. Well, he kind of does.
It's a turtle, right? This guy's a turtle. I mean, when you think of
He's
a
an
turtle,
armadillo.
no, he's a turtle, right?
He's an armadillo.
Ramos the turtle.
No, it's okay. So for the
Then
jump,
there is the Ninja Turtle skin, right? So I think he's a turtle.
okay. So looking at the bot lanes here, both bot lane duos opting for barrier and heal here.
Barrier and heal, more defensive items. I think there is a running trend right now where the support is actually the one getting the heal instead of the ADC. And no more exhausts are going to be used because of the Ardent Sensor.
Yeah, heal gives you one more option to proc the Ardent Sensor.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god, hold on.
Heals or shields, man. We need to stop with this Ardent Sensor.
So
because-
wait, you know, okay, that's gonna, so looks like that's gonna be a bit of a weird interaction, but when it comes to early level 2, it looks like it will be Demon Kite. Again, gonna be the one controlling the lane because Tristana and a Lulu, you're adding another steroid to a Tristana to another attack speed boost thanks to the Lulu. So this is going to be extra damage coming in from Demon Kite.
Yeah, so let's go over the comps here. And I think what LDCU wants to do with their comp is they want to play around bot lane. They want to get this Tristana ahead in order for her to be able to siege the turrets of NDDU. But NDDU, they do have the wave. They do have forms of wave here. They have very good wave here with Galio, Ori, and Varus. So I think what LDCU wants to do is really get Tristana ahead.
When this Tristana does get ahead, this will be LDCU's ticket for another victory for a really good day. So they do want to secure it this time. They are going to be playing more defensive, more tap, more late game oriented because the Azir and the Tristana will be played by LDCU, whereas we do see that NDDU might just go for a mid game because they do have the Orianna. The Jarvan does fall off into the late game if he builds pure offensive, and the Galio is there for the protection. So it looks like we might expect lethality Jarvan.
So looking at the comp of NDDU, they do have a lot of team fight potential here, but
looks like the
Hound is
Hound
caught.
just got spotted. He does get knocked up. Taunting Airy in the mid lane. He's very low on health. He does burn his summoners. The flash will be on cooldown.
Yeah, so going back to my previous one, I want to give the edge to earlier team fighting to NDDU's comp because their champs do work better in the mid game. But once once the carries of Azir and Tristana from LDCU scale, they might potentially out-damage the carries of NDDU. But there's a lot of engage coming out from it. Once they hit 6, there's a lot of engage potential, and I expect it to be an explosive. I expect them to start explosive fights with those engage tools.
When it comes to the heroic entrance and the cataclysm, this will be a common combination where LDCU will most often use, and top that off with the assistance of the shockwave. That is going to be a very huge, the most ideal clash that NDDU might go after to fight against LDCU's composition, where the Azir scales to the late game. The Emperor's Divine will be completely useless, or because he may not be able to cast it due to the huge burst and CC coming in from the Jarvan, Orianna, and the Galio. It looks like
They can potentially dive Hope,
But-
but he is spotted by
yeah.
the ward just as it times out.
KF did get spotted by, LJL did get spotted by the ward.
So okay, it's looks like the team have Oria's base here picked up the Lost Chapter, whereas Azir has picked up a Fiendish Codex. So Ori wants to be able to stay in lane longer and do this
Interesting.
farm.
You get the more mana sustaining item, the passive that it has over the cooldown reduction. So this is something that is very interesting, very in a way that why did this player pick up a cooldown reduction instead of, let's say, a more favorable item like the Finnish Codex?
Maybe he wants to go for that late game. He wants to stay in lane longer than the Azir. But so far, I think there's been no early game aggression from both junglers. Not really able to find openings for ganks.
Because in a way that this Rammus, the ganks of a Rammus is very predictable. Very there's a routine, there's a path. It's very basic, linear in a way that you can really predict it and call it out because of the movements. Unlike Jarvan, who can sometimes be unpredictable over a wall, can ignore terrain. So this is something that LDC will have to face their problems and overcome it, and in a way take the first blood.
Yeah,
Because
but
as far as the game goes, it's going pretty slow.
yeah, but as a Ramos, if you can work with your team and you're able to deny vision, there is very little counterplay to or 600, 700 move speed Ramos coming at you from Fog of War. It's really not that easy to react to be honest, and you will be forced to potentially burn a flash or two just to avoid that taunt.
The taunt is going to be a very annoying tool, and as you said, Chisto, this might just might be the coordination, and he did use his flash to escape.
I think that he could have gone for the kill if Hope timed his ultimate a bit more.
He could have just lured.
Yeah, he could have timed it better to come in with the gank from the Hound. Shockwave will land here.
Shockwave will connect, and here it comes the Seer for the Divide, knocking away the Azoriana, but looks like the fight will not break off. Z-Dragon has no more mana. He is forced to flash over his wall. The soldiers will slow him down. Looks like the Conquering Sands will slow the advances, and here it comes, assistance from Hope. The Hound gets taken down. The first blood goes to NDDU, maybe a 2-for-1 trade. Hope again using another flash. Heavy resources burnt by LDCU.
Yeah, really close fight there, but until Marcel just being faster to the collapse, faster than Hope to the collapse, able to pick up first blood on the Hound, and good kill picked up by NDDU.
And with that said, NDDU will be securing the first blood. It went to the Galio with assistance from the Jarvan and the Orianna. CS-wise, not too much of a difference in the mid lane, but the jungle and top lane, we are seeing some heavy differences.
So, interesting here, Ramos has been out farming this Jarvan. He's actually ahead in items, but I think that will be even out once Jarvan goes back to base. Okay, once Jarvan does reset, I want to see him path towards bot side. I want him to abuse this Alistar and Varus. Of course, Varus being level 6, but let's hold on from that.
Looks like Gak's gonna have it. The Hound will land a taunt. The Conquering Sands is not yet available, but Z-Dragon does have his flash. Looks like the Hound has his flash for an attempt to secure, but it will be Z-Dragon's soldiers doing the favor.
Yeah, Earl got overextending without his flash on cooldown there. But back to my previous point, I want Jarvan to path towards bot side and use the engage tools from Alistar and Varus to pick off members of LDCU and potentially snowball this Varus.
Yeah, but the Varus does snowball. This will benefit NDDU a lot, because as far as how Z-Dragon is playing, I could see that he will be rushing the Nashor's Tooth. Normally, we don't see Azirs rushing the Nashor's Tooth anymore. Nashor's Tooth anymore because of the 3 Sand Soldiers bonus attack speed. Looks like this will just be more damage spike for Z-Dragon.
So, interesting here. So far, no support itemizing towards an Ardent Sensor yet. Especially...
It looks like for the Ardent Sensor to happen, this will just be more of a delay because Koneko has yet to accumulate enough gold. It's very difficult because normally we do see that Tristana does get the Relic Shield to really further increase the income and help this help to support Koneko build the Ardent Sensor quickly. But right now, it looks like he will not be prioritizing the Ardent Sensor. that sooner.
Oh, Varus opting for Bilgewater Cutlass here wants more sustain in the lane compared to rushing that Ginsu's Rage Blade, which gives him more DPS.
So looks like the heal from the Alistar will not be enough, and the Relic Shield. I would favor the Guinsoo's Rush more for the Varus instead of a Blade of the Root King. It's more of an item efficient, more gold efficient to get the Guinsoo's Rage Blade because it gives you attack speed, AD, AP, scaling attack speed, and it really just benefits the passive of Varus even more.
Yeah, I think why Cat opted for a Bilgewater Cutlass, she wants to get the Blade of the Ruin King to get the percent health damage versus the tank line of LDCU. And he also wants a life steal to be able to deal with Rammus's return damage from the W.
In a way that he is planning ahead and investing in items where he may need it when, let's say, a 3v3 does happen.
Failed engage there from Fudge.
Pretty close call for LJL. He did get spotted out. If ever Fudge did engage with the QW combo, that would have been a free ult in for the Jarvan.
Things have kind of slowed down here from both teams, not opting to look for many fights and just
look how all the teams are focusing in the Infernal Drake. They just want this Death Drake of the game.
Yeah, that is a juicy objective for both teams to take. It's really going to help them scale even better into the late game.
So looks like both teams are eyeing this Infernal Drake, whereas we do see the teleports are up for both top laners if a fight does break down in the river. Seeing how 2 wards are placed for both teams in the river side, this will help more vision control.
Yeah, I do believe that Galio and Nautilus cannot kill each other in lane, just 1v1. They won't deal enough damage to each other, being both mega tanks and CC monsters in this game.
In a way that they're just going to be farming it out, just relaxing. Wait, you know what matters most as a top laner will be the teleport plays, especially when you're a tank.
Yeah, and both teleports are up. We might potentially see a bot lane collapse in the near future in order to transition into an Infernal Drake take. So,
but looks like Hope is a bit low on mana compared to Marceline because of the Eternal passive coming in from the Catalyst. More sustain, more mana, more health. That's gonna be the reason why, in the long run, Marceline will really have the upper hand against Hope because he has the magic shield. But right now, looks like the Hound will be helping him out. LJL will be going in. Looks like a taunt will connect, plus armor reduction and a double knockout with a Cataclysm lockdown. That will be the Hound paying the price, getting taken up. A Sea Dragon is here with a shifting stance with the Emperor's Divide for a kill for Hope. And looks like a respawn from Erigon. Sea Dragon is very low. Erigon will be taking down this Azir.
Yep. Teams trading 2 for 2 in the end there. Both mid laners collapsing to the top lane after a very extended fight. I wonder if Erigon will chase this down. No.
It was a pretty close call. I thought the Emperor's Divide would at least take away the Hope. Looks like he did survive, so this will be a crash in the bot lane. Giant Growth for more health. Looks like Cat does have the barrier. He will be surviving the heal for heal. Fudge tried to deny the jump, failed.
Yeah, interesting interaction there. The rocket jump from Tristana still going off despite the headbutt from Alistar. And I really don't like NDDU not playing around this bot side since they have a lot of engage tools. I want to see them collapse on this bot lane and potentially punish Demon Kite and Koneko for having these defensive summoners down.
In a way that, yeah, you would normally see that the bot lane will be prioritized. And it's weird for, hold that thought, the Hound goes in, taunted again, teleport coming in, Earl God, very low, Z-Dragon takes the kill. Looks like the teleport will be cancelled by both top laners.
Yeah, this is Sea Dragon picking up early kills again.
This is going to be bad news for NDDU. The lead, the first blood, means nothing when an Azir is 3-1.
Yeah, Sea Dragon looking like he's gonna carry his team again to a victory here, but I don't want to count out NDDU as we haven't seen a full-on 5v5 fight.
And I would really bank on this Varus to really deliver the package, but looks like Tower dive will happen. Fudge get polymorph. He can't do anything. No CC. A bit too late. Sea Dragon with the Emperor's Divine. He is going to be taking in some hits. Looks like Wild Growth. Fudge is very low. He gets a double kill. Catechism for the lockdown. But LJL will be taking in shutdown. Koneko was very low. One for that's not going to be a favorable trade. However, 1 for 2 in favor of LDCU.
Yeah, Seadra has been very proactive with his lead. They're using his lead in the mid lane and translating that into creating a lead for his teammates. I really like the proactiveness coming out of LDCU's mid laner here.
Yeah, the fact that he knows that the Alistar was polymorphed, he couldn't do anything to CC out or at least knock back the Azir. That Lulu did a really good time, the crowd control right there, and really denying the potential for Fudge to protect Cat.
Yeah, but of course with Sea Dragon going for all these roams, it does give Earl God the opportunity to take down mid tower first.
And this is the first turn up to the game, so he will be taking away 650 gold. That is a huge chunk of gold, giving a total gold lead of at least almost 2,000.
Yeah, despite the kill lead coming from LDCU, NDU has the global gold advantage, and it doesn't really show because LDCU has these kills, but NDU poised to like go for this late game.
When it comes to the late game, both teams have the scaling for it, but all it comes down to how fast you complete your item. Let's say both teams complete their items fully, that's good, but will it really count in a way that, hey, all of you guys have, let's say, 6 items locked in? It all comes down to team clash potential.
Yeah,
and all I can see is NDDU, they have the Galio and Jarvan and Orianna. It's more powerful than a single Azir or a Rammus with a lockup.
Yeah, but despite them having all this AoE, they really haven't used that to combo something on them. I haven't seen them use Cataclysm and Galio ult.
This is actually the trouble of putting Galio at top. You cannot fully utilize the heroic entrance.
So I do expect them to go for that play in the near future. It's just to see what they prioritize on the map. Infernal Drake is still up for the grabs here.
80 minutes in, the first Drake has not yet been slain. This is going to be a very tense game, but it's weird. You know the first Drake is Infernal. Why don't you prioritize it and play around the bot lane? You could have at least secured more Drakes that way, but it was actually going to be a high gamble, high risk, high reward scenario. And see how still tensions are high in the Drake area, but see how the bottom lane is completely ignored, and see how the CS is benefiting the Varus even more. Already finishing the Blade of the Rune King compared to the Infinity Edge. Obviously, Cat does not want to pick a fight with Demon Kite.
Yeah, but I think NDD is beginning to realize that this Infernal Drake is really valuable to their team comp. They're beginning to set up here. They're beginning to slowly set up Vision in the bot lane.
Oh, looks like the Torment of Chains for Varus will help disengage this fight. They do back off. Looks like the Hound only backing away. He did burn the ultimate, so Sea Dragon was chasing down Earl God. Looks like the soldiers burst of damage. Look at that, a huge burst of attack speed, 1.8 attack speed for this Azir.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard for Orianna to stay in an extended fight versus an Azir because Azir will just out DPS her. But there is still potential for Orianna to burst down the Azir because he hasn't completed his Rod of Age. He isn't completely sort of stacking yet.
This might just be it. Heroic Entrance is available. He just flashed directly inside, missing the Justice Punch. But looks like LJL will be securing the kill. Oh, nice depth charge connecting onto Orianna. Hope is still chasing Earlgar. Heroic Entrance for the save. A bit too late and unneeded.
Sea getting caught out there.
Cat though gets killed by Demon Kite, and this will be another double kill for Demon Kite. Looks like the Unbreakable Wheel is doing a lot of work for this Alistar, and that would be the double kill for Demon Kite.
Yeah, LDC instantly returning the aggression of NDDU, and it looks like they will transition these into objectives and potentially the Infernal Drake.
Oh, this is gonna be bad news for NDDU. Not a favorable trade at all.
Infernal Drake gives your team bonus AD and AP, and it looks like NDDU will not be able to challenge this.
This will be a free Infernal Drake and a heavy price that NDDU will have to pay, with NDDU securing their first Infernal Drake of the game. The next Drake will be another Infernal. So this is going to be a battle of the Drakes, and seeing how Z Dragon is very much ahead in this game, getting this Infernal Drake is like getting an extra Rabadon. If he does get the second, ooh, quick decisions, quick, fast hands. If he does get the second Infernal Drake, this will be a huge bonus for this Azir.
Okay, now that bot lane outer for ND has been destroyed, I expect LDCU to begin to move this Tristana around the map and take down the rest of the outer turrets of NDDU. And they can potentially use that map pressure. They're going to open up the map with that and potentially look to take a Baron with the Tristana and Azir being ahead.
The fact that if they just take away the Infernal Drake and just focus on the Drake itself, LDCU can already win because of the pure raw stats, the combat stats that it offers. Looks like Hope has no hope of escaping.
That's tricky.
That's a bit tricky there. The depth charge will knock two members of NDD away. The Hound is there for the save, and I think the depth charge was a saving grace. But on the top side, Z Dragon gets another kill. This is going to be huge. He has the Roa. He has the Nashor's Tooth. This is going to be very difficult for NDDU with the Nashor's Tooth in the hands of Azir.
Yeah, and of course the Ardent Sensor finally completed for the Lulu. Just gonna buff the attack speed of both Sea Dragon and Demon Kite. So that was an interesting interaction with the Anchor Toss from Nautilus and the Cataclysm. It looked like Cataclysm wasn't able to keep him in.
The impassable terrain, coat and coat. So Eragon taking a lot of key. The Shockwave did get used, so there will be no more Shockwave available. They have to dance on the turret to get away. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the Hound will be chasing down LJL. He does pick him up. Hope is there, but looks like Fudge will just headbutt him away.
Deal damage to Rammus. Okay, so looks like LDC will be able to take both towers from NDDU in the top lane. Really opens up the map for them. Their siege is really good here.
And when it comes to more team-oriented fights, I don't think the Galio, Jarvan, the Orianna will even do anything, because seeing how the Orianna is behind, that is just going to be huge disappointment for NDDU, because they were relying on the Orianna to help them in terms of damage. But they can't do that anymore because the Orianna is very behind. The Virus just went for the Runic Circuit instead. Looks like we will not be seeing the Rage Blade Rush anymore. And seeing how the Tristana did scale up better, Static Shift and Infinity Edge.
Okay, so let's talk about NDDU being behind, what they have to do here. In order to stop the bleeding, to stop the sieges from LDCU, they need to find and engage. They need to land CC on a key target like Demon Kite or Sea Dragon and just layer the CC, take out the target early in the fight so that they could potentially come back into this game and stop all the sieges from LDCU. The mid lane final outer turret gonna be taken down by LDCU.
That would be the second turret. Second outer turret, actually the last outer turret taken down by LDCU. 4 turrets in, while NDCU only has 2 turrets and the Swordboard.
Yeah, but let's see where LDCU decide to play around here. I want to see them potentially play around this Baron area and set up for that and just buff their sieges.
And this is a Lulu we are talking about. This Azir is going to be hitting like a madman thanks to the Ardent Sensor buff, and they will be rotating towards the bot lane. Sea Dragon will be joining them shortly, where we still see Marceline still in the top lane, pushing away his lane, finally destroying the top lane outer turret. But looks like LDCU They will be taking down this inhibitor turret, trying to take down this inhibitor turret.
Yeah, NDDU not looking to stop the bleeding or not looking for any engages. They're just so afraid of picking a fight versus LDCU, and they're gonna get choked out here. It doesn't. They have to stop the bleeding to the point where they really can't do anything versus LDCU's comp. But so far, LDCU just moving around the map, avoiding fights, just taking objectives from NDDU.
That's what I was talking about. You just need to take objectives like the Infernal Drake, and they already win because of pure raw stats, pure gold it offers. But it looks like a fight may break down. But if a fight does break down, this will be Z Dragon's best terrain to fight in. And it looks like NDDU, they do not want to fight in a choke point.
Yeah, LDCU really good at avoiding the engages from and not giving NDDU a chance to start the fight. Again, NDDU just being too hesitant here, they're not stopping LDCU from dictating the pace of the game.
So it looks like from the passive playstyle of NDDU, LDCU might as well just take away the Infernal Drake. That will be live in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I wonder if this will be the moment where NDDU decides to pull the trigger. And if they do win an ensuing teamfight on this Infernal Drake, it may just bring them back into this game.
Here it comes. Looks like Marceline is there for the save, trying to take away some vision. And NDDU, they will not let LDCU take away this Infernal Drake. Who will take the Infernal Drake? Looks like it will be a battle for the Drake with Z Dragon just melting away the tag. He takes down Fudge. Emperor's Divide for the quick burst with a double kill, making it a triple. No, it will just be Demon Kite taking away his triple with a double kill in, and this will be the triple kill and the ace for Demon Kite.
Yeah, a 5-0 ace for LDC, showing off their lead, flexing their muscles, just destroying the members of NDDU. And they will pick up their second Infernal Drake, and they will potentially pick up this inhibitor tower and inhibitor, and actually think they can end the game here.
I don't think so. The death timers are pretty short, but I would probably say they could have at least remove 2 Nexus turrets.
Yeah, and even if NDDU do hold on here, there is still that Baron up, but
oh wait,
LDC is deciding to end the game.
3 members are alive right now. They're just gonna risk it all. They're gonna go in. Looks like Java will be going in, and then Z Dragon will be doing the favor of just ending the game. What a surprise for NDDU, with LDCU, the momentum from first game, securing their victory against NDDU. I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
actually.
decisive win there for LDCU, and NDDU, they just look so scared to pick a fight. They look so scared to engage, and they just got choked out. They just lost all their turrets, and they're really not able to respond to what LDCU is dictating across the map.
Because I thought that from that clash itself, I thought 3 members alive, and the members of LDCU were very low, but they were confident. They say, hey, I'm actually ahead, I'm pretty much fat, the Azir is fatter, and that's how they were able to end the game, just from that Infernal Drake clash.
Yeah, I think LDCU executed their team comp better. They had a game plan, which was the siege towers, whereas NDDU, they wanted to engage, but they really just didn't pull the trigger on anything. They seemed too hesitant.
If you're hesitant and afraid, this is the price you're going to pay. And this will be LDCU's second victory for the Mindanao Conference. So congratulations to LDCU for winning against NDDU with a smooth victory. And look
at the
damage dealt by this Azir. I gotta say, from game 1 and game 2, Z Dragon has been doing exceptionally well, and I think he's the player. And this team is something they have to look out for.
Yeah, and I just want to note, if the Galio on your team does the most damage, then you're definitely doing something wrong with your comp. You're definitely not playing that properly. And yeah, credit to Z Dragon, really performing across both games actually, really carrying LDCU from the mid lane.
So once again guys, that has been game 2 with LDCU securing their victory against NDDU. There you guys have it. We have been the Shoutcasters. I am Vulcan, and with me is Shisto. We'll be back after a short break for Game 3. Shield, but right now looks like the Hound will be helping him out. LJL will be going in. Looks like a taunt will connect. Plus armor reduction and a double knockout with a Cataclysm lockdown. That will be the Hound paying the price. Getting taken up. A Sea Dragon is here with the shifting stats with the Emperor's Divine Sword. A kill for home. And it looks like a respawn from Erigon. Sea Dragon is very low. Erigon will take the Drake. Looks like it will be a battle for the Drake with Sea Dragon just melting away the tank. He takes down Fudge. Emperor's Divine for the quick burst with a double kill, making it a triple. No, it will just be Demonkite taking away his triple with a double kill in, and this will be the triple kill and the ace for Demonkite.
Yeah, a 5-0 ace for LDC, showing off their lead, flexing their muscles, just destroying the members of NDC.
Just gonna risk it all. They're gonna go in. Looks like Java will be going in, and the Sea Dragon will be doing the favor of just ending the game. What a surprise for NDDU.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.
reset. Sandy's on a rampage. That's going to be cleaner first than Wizards. Oh, that's just pure damage. And here goes the ball to the slowness. And the Rogar is there for the cleanup.
Yeah, gonna be a fight, ladies and gents. Keepers, Birdie gets used dito naman ginamit din.
There's the arm of deception. Holy!
Welcome back, ladies and gents! Dito sa isa sa prestigious competitions dito sa Pilipinas. Syempre, I'm talking about the LOL Collegiate League. Powered by Lenovo. Challenge what you know, kami ang maging casters niyo ngayon. Arctic at your service, fam. And of course, with me is Rockhart. And man, good to have you back, man, by the way.
Yeah, it's really great to be back and to be bet by teams of this caliber. We have great teams coming in from the Davao region, Ateneo de Davao University, and of course, Holy Cross of Davao College.
So, I mean, with these teams from Mindanao, kasi a lot of people think that, especially by history, if you're gonna look at other competitions like the PGS, for example, ang daming mga players na nanggagaling ng NCR, a few from North, a few from South. Pero, from what we've seen here, LCL is a great way to scout out yung talagang may potential na players, and not just Mindanao, even Visayas, you know, a lot of great talent, but nonetheless, we'll just have to see how that talent prospers as we head into the pick and ban phase. Once again, this is Ateneo de Davao University versus Holy Cross of Davao College.
That's right, in first picks, we're already halfway through picks and bans, by the way. We already have Galio, we have Cog, we have Witch locked in as bans for ADDU, and of course, Holy Cross, we have some really good counters for the mid, from Zed, from Jarvan, and of course for Jace. First pick, blocked in Gosu. Kitanda opting for an Orianna. It's really great, but I don't really like the nerfs that have. I consider them a nerf.
Yeah.
What happened with previous patches where yung ball, you have to be right on the spot before you can cast. I think that's a big. Some people might call it a big buff, but I think I'll call it a nerf.
A little bit of a nerf there. I actually agree with you somewhat, but nonetheless, knowing Kitanda, I mean, he is one of the players I really look forward to seeing whenever I think of Ateneo de Davao University. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see him flex a bit of muscle here.
Historically, right?
Yeah.
Previous split, he carried ADDU through a lot of heavy games against Ateneo de Manila, and that gave us really great fights.
Indeed. And looking at things though, on the other side of the board here for Holy Cross of Davao College, we have the Janna, the Gragas, as well as the Syndra being picked in for them. I mean, the Janna, I'm not really as surprised, to be honest. But I mean, with Gragas and Syndra as well. So it's interesting that we're seeing a little bit more of what we'd even see on a world level.
That's right. Very stable picks with Janna on the backline. It's a very ardent sensor-heavy meta, believe this or not. Of course, you have seen Worlds, and you see this almost pick and ban almost 100% on almost every game.
Exactly.
Not very surprising, but the rest of the composition is actually amazing. Meanwhile, on Ateneo de Davao, we are seeing really scary hovers. Again, Worlds swervy, and will they get locked down? Wow, still.
Riven though,
Riven on the top lane.
I was almost thinking like, are we gonna be seeing the Demon Blade? No, we're actually gonna be seeing the other part of Riven though. Interesting, actually. But then again, I mean, for Gosu here for Ateneo de Davao University, in all fairness, as far as what I've recalled and what I've seen locally with Riven games that have been broadcasted, even in the PGS, based on my personal tabulation, Riven has a pretty high win rate in competitive locally from the few times she has been picked. So who knows, maybe that'll be the same charm here for Ateneo de Davao University. But looking at the composition for Holy Cross of Davao College, they have taken the Nautilus as their last pick. So.
Which is, I think, one of the good counter picks to Riven if you're just opting to stay in lane.
Oh, yeah.
You just want to stay alive for the rest of the game and be hopefully a good tank. Just try not to die and just get into the pressure as much as possible in the Riven and try not to leave her snowballing.
Indeed.
That's how, I think that's how one way that Holy Cross is gonna stop Ateneo de Davao's top lane, because I can expect a lot of carry potential from the top, especially from Gosu.
Indeed.
So nonetheless, overall with these compositions locked in, I don't know about you guys, Ateneo de Davao University, I like, again, I'm all about these surprise picks in a way, but surprise picks in the sense wherein may sense.
That's
Kasi
right.
syempre, hindi naman yung tipong mag-cheese pick na
Solo
trip mo
queue.
lang. You got like those
Yes,
very cheesy
exactly.
picks that you see in ranked every now and then. Wala namang sense if you think about it. Pero from what I've seen, like there are these niche picks that you don't normally see, pero depending on the composition, let's say depending on the strategy that you're going for, sometimes it really works. And we have seen those very interesting picks, like let's say even way back in Worlds, remember Rock Tigers bring out the Misfortune support? That
That's
did
right.
work.
And that became an innovation that carried to the rest of the teams in Worlds.
Exactly.
So who knows? It could be a possibility in this game. We will find out. We are loaded on to Summoner's Rift, and things should get interesting.
So there you have it, ladies and gents. Once again, we are heading into this game between Ateneo de Davao University versus Holy Cross of Davao College. Two teams from Davao. So let's see which team from Davao will prove themselves the better Davaoeño. There
Yeah,
you go.
that's right. A game that could potentially judge who is a good front runner for Kings Davao. Meanwhile, we have a great invade, although it is spotted out. And I think Holy Cross should start making adjustments. They will see everyone else is out of position.
Yeah, especially kung titingnan mo nga rin, because of the vision that Ateneo de Davao University, as well as a little bit of a roam across the side of Holy Cross of Davao College, this does give them information rin as to what the potential jungle route will be here for Trab. So within the next few minutes or so, Ateneo de Davao University, they could kind of have a little bit more of comfort knowing what predictions they have as far as what route Trab will go.
That's right, and that's going to be a potential counter gank for against Kobe. Since Holy Cross did spot that out, we will see how far along this leash is going to go. This is actually a quite long leash. I think they could save Smite, but no. That's going to still leave Trab with very low HP, with a very small possibility. Because again, if you start on the buff this early in the game, you're going to be really worn out, compared to if you start on the chicken clamps.
Indeed.
That's gonna give you a lot more experience, and but that only works if your laner also assists. And you kita mo naman, in this case, Syndra went straight into farming.
Yeah, pero kung